React uses a virtual DOM, which makes updates and rendering faster. The virtual DOM is a concept used by React to update the user interface efficiently. It is an in-memory representation of the actual DOM, and React uses it to minimize the number of changes made to the real DOM. Here's a simple example to illustrate how the virtual DOM works. Let's say you have a page with the following HTML structure. Now, let's say you want to update the text of the first P element to hello. With traditional DOM manipulation, you would have to make the following steps. Find the element in the DOM. Modify its text content. And update the DOM. These steps can be slow and expensive, especially if the DOM is complex and has many elements. With the virtual DOM, React creates an in-memory representation of the HTML structure, which is called the virtual DOM. When you update the text content of the first P element, React updates the virtual DOM and then calculates the differences between the previous virtual DOM and the updated one. Finally, React updates the real DOM with only the necessary changes, which is much faster and more efficient. So, instead of having to make multiple changes to the real DOM, React only makes the minimum necessary changes, making updates faster and more efficient. This is the key advantage of using the virtual DOM in React. Reusable components are independent and self-contained units of code that can be used in multiple parts of an application. The goal of reusable components is to promote code reuse, reduce redundancy, and improve maintainability by making it easier to update the code in one place and have those changes reflected throughout the application. For example, consider an application that displays a list of blog posts. You might have several pages in the application that display a different subset of the blog posts, such as a home page, a category page, and a search results page. Rather than duplicating the code for rendering each individual post on each of these pages, you could create a reusable component for displaying a single post, and then use that component multiple times on each of the pages. Here is an example of a reusable component in React. This component takes in props, short for properties, which are data that can be passed in from the parent component. In this case, the blog post component is expecting to receive a title and an excerpt. The component can then be used in another component like this. Here, the blog list component is using the blog post component to render a list of blog posts that are passed in through props.posts. The map function is used to iterate over the list of posts, and for each post, a blog post component is created and passed the title and excerpt for that post as properties. The ReactJS community is one of the largest and most active JavaScript communities, with a large number of developers contributing to the development and maintenance of the library. There are several resources available for developers looking to learn more about ReactJS and get involved with the community, including the ReactJS documentation. The official documentation provides a comprehensive guide to using ReactJS, including tutorials, API reference, and advanced topics. GitHub. The ReactJS codebase is hosted on GitHub, where developers can submit bug reports, request features, and contribute code to the project. Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow is a popular question and answer site for developers, and there are many questions and answers related to ReactJS available on the site. ReactJS conferences and meetups. There are numerous ReactJS conferences and meetups held around the world, providing opportunities for developers to connect with each other, learn from experts, and stay up to date with the latest developments in the ReactJS community. ReactJS online communities. There are many online communities dedicated to ReactJS, including forums, Slack groups, and social media groups, where developers can ask questions, share knowledge, and network with other ReactJS developers. In summary, the ReactJS community is highly supportive and provides a wealth of resources for developers to learn, contribute, and connect with others. In conclusion, ReactJS is a popular and widely used JavaScript library for building user interfaces, and its advantages make it an excellent choice for modern web development.